Hi, everyone. Welcome to Financial Insights. I'm Linda, your accounting coach. So, we are continuing our conversation regarding the ABCs of nonprofit finance. So, today we want to focus on nonprofit board members. So, what are their duties? So many times that as you know, nonprofit board members is a voluntary basis, and it's great when someone wants you to be part of their nonprofit board, and so they actually see something in you. You may have a passion for the mission of that nonprofit. However, many times as a nonprofit, we actually forget to educate the nonprofit board members on what their duties are. So there's actually three legal duties of a nonprofit board member. The number one duty is duty of care, basically ensuring that as a board member, we're taking care of the nonprofit assets, taking care of the people, the facility, the money, all that good stuff. So that's number one, duty of care. Number two, duty of loyalty. And what that means is that as a nonprofit board member, we are advancing the nonprofit mission. So we recognize when there's conflict of interest. And when we make decisions as a board, we're making those decisions in the best interest of the nonprofit, not our individual point of view. Or, for instance, there could be where maybe there's a brother-in-law or something where they are a consultant, and if it's not a good fit as a nonprofit board member, you want to make sure you make the best decision for the nonprofit, not for yourself. So that's duty of loyalty. Number three, duty of obedience. So we want to make sure that the nonprofit is following laws, they're following the regulations, they're making sure that they're submitting reports, 990, anything that the nonprofit should be doing, particularly regarding staff members, making sure that they're paying taxes, they're treating their employees well, there's contracts in place. So these are the three duties that are usually missed when there's nonprofit onboarding for a nonprofit board member. So if you are a nonprofit, you definitely want to make sure these three duties are listed in your nonprofit board member manual. Now let's talk about roles, or I should say duties. So these are usually three duties that I see that are missed when educating nonprofit board members. So number one, a board is to evaluate the executive director. And what that means is the executive director is supposed to have a performance review. Many nonprofits do not go through that process. So, as a nonprofit board, you should be actually evaluating the executive director annually. Number two is raising funds. So, this gets missed very often or glossed over. So, as a nonprofit board member, you should be raising funds. And that's not to say that, okay, you need to give so much money out of your pocket, but that means building relationships and actually raising funds that way, introducing the nonprofit to your network. So that's another way to raise funds. And then lastly, you should be an advocate for the nonprofit. Many times I'll meet board members and they never mention the boards that they sit on. It's and and I think it's something where you just, as a nonprofit, you have to educate your board members. When there are networking events or where there's potential partners, give them talking points. But a lot of times we miss the mark on that. So definitely, as a nonprofit board member, you are an advocate. So make sure you're always mentioning the boards that you sit on, mentioning the mission, what has been accomplished, so other individuals can say, you know what, I want to be part of that movement. So hopefully you find this information helpful. If you are a nonprofit, this is a great time to reassess, look at your manual. And if you don't have a manual, actually create a manual for your nonprofit board and just really make sure that each board member understands their duties and their roles. So make sure you comment, like, and share, and we will see you next time. Take care.